Let's see how it is. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello guys, my name is RB. Today I'm going to show you how to make the famous CHARSI Karahi. So for that, we're gonna need some goat meat. Preferably get the baby goat leg. Thigh meat. Get it into the small pieces. I got about 4 pounds. You really don't need 4 pounds. You can make it with 1 pound, 2 pounds, however you want. But what you're gonna need is 1 karaya, and then you're gonna need some sort of a cap that you can close it. So it's very easy recipe, very easy to make. I'll teach you. Let me give you a little about CHARSI Karahi. Okay, so it's made in Peshawar. You can see in this video what I'm showing you right now. This is how they make it. You go to these restaurants and then you eat it. So yummy. I can show you how to make the same thing at home. Alright guys, so what I did, I got the karaya, and karaya, I put the 4 pound goat meat from the Thai side, but I felt like it's too much for one time to eat, so I took out chunk of it. So I probably took out like 2 pounds. So this is like a 2 pound mutton meat. So goat meat. So like I said, you can make it with 1 pound, 2 pound, it doesn't really matter. Alright guys, so let's do the procedure. What you need in this procedure, right? There are 3 things that you need. You need, well, 4 things actually. So you need the meat, you need salt, you need warm water, and we also need the green peppers. Alright, so that's the only recipe, but just the trick relies on the way you make it, right? So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna fire up the stove, but you wanna make sure you don't wanna have it high or nor medium. Make it low, keep it low. That's the whole key. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the stove. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and make it very low, right? And it's the lowest I can go, right? And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add just because it's 2 pounds meat, I'm gonna add like 1 teaspoon of salt on it, and then I'll show you what next I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna spread it around on the meat. Okay guys, so we have added the salt. I'm just gonna mix it up, so the salt goes. Make sure the meat that you get. Make sure tell the butcher to keep low fat in it. We need a little bit fat, right? And then once this is done, we're gonna cover it with a cap. Once we spread around the salt and mix it up, and then we're gonna cover it with a cap. You want to make sure the cap is perfect, that it closes properly everywhere. The reason, because we want to cook this meat in the steam, right? I want this meat to lose some water from it, right? And then this is the water we're gonna use to cook the karahi. So it has been like 8 minutes, So guys, what I did, of course, the cap that I had, it was not a fully covered cap. Where you can see this little hole right here, the steam was coming out. The whole point is the steam should not come out. So I'm gonna open it and see, what is the results so far. What are the results? So as you can see, and I can hear the sizzling. I see the meat is losing the water. The water is coming out. But we're gonna keep it close again. We're gonna let it lose as much water it can, and then we'll check again in a bit. All right guys, so it's been 20 minutes. As you can see, steam is coming out. You can see the only one change I have done is that I have put the fire a little bit more, like the stove ignite a little bit more up. The reason, because of course these stoves are not too powerful, I guess. But just medium is good. Don't go too low, don't go too high. You don't want to dry out your meat. So this is how if I'm gonna open, as you can see, you can see the water, right? You want to make sure that the meat has water in this, so right now it loosed up its own water, but as it dries out, this is why I have a special kettle over here. you want to keep the water warm. So we're gonna keep adding more water as it dries out, right? Right now I see a little bit water inside, so which is good. I'm gonna check again in like 5 or 10 minutes. Just make sure you keep checking like in 5-10 minutes and see if the water gets dried out. And if water is getting dried out, it's of course it's the steam is gonna evaporate out, and then want to make sure that it doesn't get dried, and then we can continue adding more water. And I'll let you know when I'm gonna start adding water. Okay, it has been another 10 minutes, so I'm gonna check. It's very hot. You wanna make sure don't burn yourself, get something. So this is how it's looking like. And one thing I see that the water is not a lot, so I'm gonna add some water to it. And to add water, I warmed up the water on this kettle, so I'm not gonna add too much, like a little bit. That should be good enough, right? Because it's a warm water, you want to keep it warm. The whole point of it is that what we're trying to do here, we're trying to make the meat tender, as much tender we can, right? And let it cook on the steam. So we're gonna go ahead and close it again, and then check back again. Press it, check back again, maybe another 10 minutes. ठीक है जी, अभी after 15 minutes, I open it up, and this is what I see. I see the color have changed of the meat, and I'm seeing the water is getting dry. I want to have the water where all the meat is dipped into the water, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and add more water. Okay, and after that, I'll cover it again and check back again in like maybe 15 more minutes. All right, guys, it's been like another 15 minutes, and this is how the meat look like. And you can see at the bottom, let me show you right here. As you can see at the bottom, there is a little gravy of the meat, still there, and there's no water, right? So I want to make sure that we add more water, and to keep it moisturized, I want to make sure the water is hot. Yep, still hot, so I'll add some more water to it. Okay, you want to add enough water, so there is moisture, and of course the whole end goal is to make it as tender as much we can. And then now we'll check back again, like after maybe another 15 minutes. All right, it has been another 10 minutes. I see the water is still there. It's evaporating. The meat looking good. What I want to check is that how tender is a meat now. So let's grab one of them. Let's put over here. I want to see. So it's not tender yet. I see it's pretty soft. So as you can see, it's pretty soft. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna continue doing the same process until it gets very soft and very tender. Okay, so let's put this back in, so you can start cooking. I'm gonna add a little bit more water, just so this way it's all dipped in. There you go. So it looks good now. The water is pretty up high. I'm gonna make sure all the meat is inside the water, and I'm gonna close it. And this time I'm gonna close it and leave it for like at least 20 minutes. Then we'll see the results. All right, guys. So it's been another 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and check. I'm gonna pick up one of them. Let's just pick up this guy right here. And I want to see how it is. So let me just go ahead and break it. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at the tenderness. Look at this. Wow. So yeah, so now the meat is tender. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and add some chilies, the green chilies, and then do the same another procedure for another like 10-15 minutes, and it's ready to go. Alright guys, so now what I did, I had like 3 chilies, the big chilies, and cut it into the pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it inside right here, and then mix it, add some little more water, and let it cook in the steam again. So as you want to make sure you do have warm water, so I'm keep checking it is still warm. So I'm gonna add that. All right, that's good enough. And then I'm gonna again pack it, close it all the way. It's pretty hot, so you gotta be careful, you know, with your hand. All right, guys. So it's been a while, about more than an hour that we've been cooking this. So you know, it was tender. So now we're gonna take it out, and you know, it's ready for serving. As you can see, now it's just the gravy from the meat is there. It's a thick gravy. You know, everything else, the meat is very tender. So we're gonna go ahead and you know, take out one of the meat and taste it. So I'll take out that one, a small piece. You know, and I would do it with the hands. It's really hard, but you can see, you know, how tender the meat is. You know, this is like a plastic fork. With the plastic fork, I'm smashing it. See how tender it is, you know. And I'm do a little tasting. You know, let's see how it is. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And it's very tender, very juicy, very tasty. Alhamdulillah. Fantastic. Try this recipe, you're gonna love it.